Dos. Bitachon.
Thursday night and Sunday night.
Says the Chovot Levavot that when we reached our financial goals, we have to make sure to have the proper perspective. A lot of times a person can ascribe his success to someone or something in the world. He thinks he became wealthy because his papa gave him money, or because his father took him into his business, or because he got a big deal, or he got a good stock market tip. In this view, without the because, then he would have not gotten there. And he thinks that he needs to praise the cause. Oh, Boshi, my father-in-law's business. Boshi, the stock market. Oh, Baruch Hashem, I got a big deal, that first big deal, get the ball rolling. A person has to know that this is one of the most difficult concepts to grasp, that a person is successful, he has a great company, a great brand, great license. He has to look at all the deals and all the licenses he got, all the moves he made, and he has to realize that success had nothing to do with the moves he made. That's the truth. Nothing to do with the moves he made. Chovot Levavot compares the mentality to a man in the desert. He's thirsty. He's in the desert walking, and he needs water. So he finally sees water, and even though the water is not so sweet, he's drinking it. He's excited. He wants to drink. He wants to quench his thirst. He goes closer and closer, and he finds a beautiful wellspring with sweeter water. He regrets drinking so much water from the first water. This water is so much better. So he says the same thing applies with how people acquire their money. They should have realized that if they had not earned it one way, they would have earned it a different way. And maybe the other way would have been sweeter. Chovot Levavot quotes the pasuk in Shmuel, a Navi. It says, there's no limitation for Hashem to bring success. People think and believe usually only what they see. I gotta see it to believe it, Rabbi. But you have to realize, you have to strengthen your belief in Hashem, that Hashem can make anything happen. He quotes a story over here, that in his house, Baruch Hashem, there was they know about Hashgacha Pratit. They know that Hashem looks at all the little things. So on Simchat Torah, his grandchildren came to shul with him, with the rabbi, and the grandson came to the men's section. The two girls went upstairs to the women's section. So then while in the men's section, the grandson got a lollipop from the candy man in the shul. So he stayed downstairs for a little while, and then he went upstairs to the women's section to his mom. So his mom and his sisters, they see him with the candy. So the kids, the granddaughters, are always, meticulous to make sure everything's fair. So they said, how come they came with a lollipop, not for us? Only he has a lollipop. So he didn't want to go back down to get 2 more lollipops for his sisters. And there's no candy lady upstairs. So there was a problem. It turned into, a little bit of a fight. So the woman sitting next to the rabbi's wife in the women's section had many daughters, and she brought her own candy back to shul. So she went and she already gave out her candy, but she saw that those little girls are crying. So she checked her bag. The guest next to the person sitting next to checked her bag, and she had 2 lollipops left. So it ended up being that she gave her the 2 girls that were upstairs. So okay, it's a cute little story, but the point is that the whole thing might have happened, and they thought, wow, look, only the boy got a lollipop. I didn't get a lollipop, and look, the person sitting next to me had exactly the 2 lollipops for the little girls. And this is exactly how our life happens all the time. In our life, what happens all the time. In business, we think, this guy, he got the deal, that's it, there's not enough for me. And right next to you, you don't even realize there's 2 deals waiting for you that were meant for you from the beginning. The person has to realize, regardless of the circumstances, the way you're supposed to be successful and what you're supposed to accomplish, it will happen. It doesn't have to be this way, it doesn't have to be that way, it has to be Hashem's way. We just be open-minded to that. And a person has to not, even when we do have success, we don't have to think it was only because of this way, and Baruch Hashem I had this, Baruch Hashem I got into this business. You would have been successful anyways, in any business. Okay, Hashem chose it to be this way. It could have been a different way also. Hashem has many ways. As the story I said many times over about that guy on 47th Street. He had that hot watch he thought he was going to sell, to make parnasah from it, finish the rent that month. Ended up being that he didn't sell it. But he was trying so hard, praying all week to Hashem that he should be able to sell it and make that profit. Ended up being he had a watch in his drawer with all the screwdrivers and all the, tchotchkes, all the random stuff. Some guy calls him and says, "You have this watch?" He says, "Yeah, it's in my drawer." He says, "Give it to me, I'll buy it for this." He says, "No problem." And the margin he was supposed to make on this watch, he made on that watch that was sitting inside the drawer. The person has to realize that the success will come, the salvation will come, the parnasah will come. You think it's only this way. Hashem says, I'm in charge. I'll show you it's many ways.